Okay, so today I'm going to do, it's not really a book review, but I thought it was necessary to do a Harry Potter versus Twilight argument and which book I think is better. I own the whole series of both. I've read both many times, so I think that I'm credible to do this argument. Okay, honestly, in my opinion, Harry Potter is better. Um, I was growing up when the Harry Potter books were released. So I kind of followed Harry throughout my entire childhood, and I kind of grew up with him. Okay, so let's just start off with the most obvious thing. Harry Potter is a book that children can read as well as adults, and it appeals to both. Because as a child, when you read it, you are just enraptured in the story. And as an adult, you catch the symbolism, the messages of immortality, along with several other things. In Twilight, you don't. Children can't read this book. There is sexual, well, not really sexual content, but relationships in this book are more heavily saturated than the ones in this one. Okay, now let's go on to characters. Harry Potter is just written better. In Harry Potter, we have a variety of characters who look different, who have they're just like people you would meet out on the street. There is depth and a backstory to every single character. For example, Harry Potter is the main character, we all know that. But, well, let's just look at how Harry Potter, his physical appearance. Harry is extremely thin, his hair is very, very messy, and he wears glasses and he has a scar on his face. Okay, to me, this is an excellent book because, especially to people who aren't that attractive, because these characters remind them of themselves, and it doesn't just portray that pretty characters get everything that they want. Because, in all honesty, Harry is not the most attractive fellow. Okay, now let's go on to Ron. Ron has red hair, and he's not the smartest guy in the book, but he is extremely brave, in my opinion, and he kind of feels downtrodden because he has older brothers who kind of steal the show, and he's best friends with somebody who's exactly famous. And throughout the book, we get to watch him struggle with his own identity in relationship to that, and how he kind of finds his own place to fit in. And to children, this is highly influential, and it helps them gain self-esteem. Now, let's compare that with some of the characters in Twilight. The main characters of Twilight... Oh, hold on. Before I go there, let me go to Hermione, because this is another big point. Hermione is a girl, and is the main female character in the book series, I believe. She is very, very smart, has brown, bushy hair, and she is, made fun of. Even Harry and Ron make fun of her in the first book because she is a nerd. I mean, she is a geek. She likes to do well in class and etc., etc. But she finds her own place with Harry and Ron because they wouldn't be able to do anything without her. They kind of lean on her. She is a very strong female character, and she doesn't have to have Ron or Harry to function on her own as a strong, independent character. And we see this in this one, Chamber of Secrets. She goes looking for answers as to what could be lurking in the Chamber of Secrets. She is the one that discovers that it's a basilisk. And even though she was kind of absent in this book because she became petrified, she still had a strong part in the book. And in the first one, Ron gets incapacitated and she moves on with Harry and basically figures out Snape's potion riddle, and Harry couldn't have done that by himself. Okay, now let's compare those to the characters in Twilight. All of Twilight's characters are pretty, handsome, physically attractive. And as we go through the book, we find out more and more just how weak of a character Bella is. The strongest female character in this book is Leah, honestly, and she gets portrayed, well, Leah and Rosalie are probably the two, well, and probably Alice, but Rosalie gets portrayed as a bitch, and Leah is portrayed as a man-hating woman who is scorned by love. So, and Bella is weak, and she gets everything that she wants, and she depends upon male characters. This, to me, is a harmful book for teenagers to read, because it persuades them to give men second chances when they try to control them. It's a very damaging book to the mental health of her audience. And I don't think that she really picked up if I had a daughter and her boyfriend was acting like this, I would do everything in my power to get her away from him, because she even chooses him over her family in the end. And to me, that's just, it's not healthy. It's like boys are more important than anything. And yeah, that's how teenagers feel, so they can probably relate, but that is not healthy. It is not healthy. Okay, now, let's go on to research. How much research was put in each book? Harry Potter is filled with mythological beasts, the basilisk, all of the monsters. There are some that are from J.K. Rowling's own imagination, but in the foremost part, the phoenix, the dragons, the unicorns, the centaurs, the kelpies, the various other ones were all part of a different mythology, Greek mythology, da-da-da-da-da. Also, the name Sirius is a symbol for the star constellation in the sky, which is a dog, and Sirius transforms into a dog, and that's why she named him Sirius. So there's a lot more research put into this book, and it makes the series better. It just does. Also, she even went into how witches and wizards survived during the witch hunts and etc., etc. Okay, now let's compare that with Twilight. Vampires have been in mythology forever. I don't have a problem that she made them sparkle, or that some of them try to live off animal blood or whatever, because that's her own twist on vampirism. What I had a problem with was the fact that the research in her books, there's like virtually none. I mean, this is pretty much like just the way it is. Also, the way vampires are portrayed in going into high school, to me, just isn't viable. And let's go on to video 2 for what else I think about Twilight and Harry Potter.